Hello, nakita po ba yung screen? Um, just react if you can see the screen that I'm sharing right now. Hello.
Yes, Zakita.
All right, all right. So again, good afternoon. So when we formally start our tutor session by ano, telling you the scope of the topics that we'll cover today, October 16th. We're gonna start with electric charges, then we go with electric field, then Gauss law, and we'll also tackle some capacitance. And after this tutor session, I'm going to send a sample problem set that you can solve on your own. And yeah, so let's start with electric charges. So what are they? Electric charges. They're one of the seven fundamental properties of matter. So any matter has an electric charge, and there are two types. There's positive and there's negative. And i- if the net charge of a matter cancel each other out, like equaling amounts of positive and negative, it'll have a net charge of zero. So it's important to note that. The standard unit or SI unit for electric charge is coulomb. It's important to know that because you'll be using that ano, when we solve for electric charge. So here's another property of electric charges. So like charges, they repel. So two positive charges and two negative charges, they go in opposite directions. And unlike charges, they attract. So a positive and a negative charge, they're gonna stick together. And so what bigay kayo ng or wait, hindi ko magtawag. Okay, di na ako magtatawag. Since review, ano lang naman to, tutor sesh. Nakita natin yung ganitong electric charges sa everywhere actually. Like, dito sa electricity ng homes natin, the stuff powering our phones and laptops. And they're also found naturally, thunderstorms. Yeah, electric charges are everywhere, both on a macroscopic and microscopic scale. And to fully understand them much better, we're going to need to tackle um, one of the phenomenon that involves electric charges, and that is, wait, bago pala tayo mag-tackle ng electric force, need ko lang clarify itong mga point charges. Kunyari may mga equations tayo, like, napahanap yung mga electric charge, electric force, electric field, etc. We use point charges ano, in place of the object para mas simpler yung pag-solve ng equations. So, we're gonna assume that that matter lacks volume and area. And that's that makes our computations much easier. So, yun yung point charges. And sometimes, ang mga objects, they can either con they can conduct electricity or not. Yung mga nagko-conduct ng electricity is called conductors. Obviously, it allows flow of charge. And some examples are metal, actually. Metal is different kinds of metal are good conductors of electricity. And we also have insulators. They do not allow flow of charge, and some examples include wood and paper and plastic. Yeah. So, importante din malaman natin yung conductors and insulators kasi may mga problems sa exam that involves determining yung flow ng electric field or sa mga conductors and insulators. Alright, now that we've got that point, we're gonna tackle ano, electrical force. Just like any meron kayong subject previously bago itong Physics 62. Meron kayong natakil ba sa inyo yung kinematics and dynamics? Yeah, tanong ko lang, kahit i-chat nyo na lang sa chat box. Okay, so medyo mas madali yung flow ng natin since na naman na sa inyo yung force. So ang electric din charges, they also have forces that act on one another. And Coulomb's law, it actually helps find the it helps find the exact value of that electrical force given two charges. So, ang isa-isahin natin yung component nitong equation ng electrical force. So we have K. K is a constant. Hindi yan nagbabago. It stays the same no matter what. And K is the value for 1 over 4 pi times epsilon. Epsilon is the epsilon is the permittivity of ano permittivity of something in a vacuum. Yun. I got lost in my thoughts. Yun yung epsilon. And if we compute this, we'll get this value. 8.99 times 10 to the 9 Newton meter squared column negatives. So, ang standard unit ng electrical force, just like typical force, is Newton. Hindi ko na siya linagay sa slide because like, natakal naman na inside. So, inversely proportional siya sa radius nung dalawang charge. So, kung mas malayo yung distance sa dalawa, mas maliit yung force na mag-act upon them. Tapos, proportional siya do sa product ng dalawang charges. So, kung mas malaki yung value ng dalawang charges, mas malaki din yung value ni force. Tapos, K is yung proportionality, which is ito. Minsan, may mga sample problems sa exam, even sa mga seatworks, hindi nila directly binibigay yung value nun charge ng isang bagay. Instead, they show the charge density of something. Tatlong types siya. It can be linear, surface, or volume. Medyo self-explanatory naman. In linear charge density is the charge over the length, kaya linear. Surface, charge over area, tas volume, charge over volume. Obviously. Ang magandang analogy sa kanya, I'm gonna use analogies para mas maintindihan niya siya. Using prior concepts na na-learn niyo sa kinematics and dynamics since you guys said sa comments na natakal. May mga natakal na sa inyo na topics before. Ang magandang analogy dito is parang density, but for electric charges. Di ba ang density is mass over volume? Dito, it's charge over, depende sa tatlong to. Linear, surface, or volume. Some charge densities are more applicable in certain scenarios than others. Parang, kunyari, sa straight wire. Okay, may nagtanong sa akin. Ah, minsan, kasi sa mga problems, sa mga exams and quizzes, hindi binibigay directly yung value ng charge ng object. Instead, ang binibigay is yung charge density niya. Tapos, para mahanap mo yung charge niya, you're gonna use either of these three equations, depende kung ano yung given. Mamaya, magbibigay ako ng example involving that, ano. Actually, may examples tong slide na to that tackles this. Pero, yeah. So, every, electric charge emits an electric field. And what's an electric field? It's, it's like a series of vector lines that show yung direction ng parang flow nung, ano, yung charge. And it's always a common rule na kapag, no, it's a definite rule na kapag, electric field, yung arrow ng vector is nagpo-point away from the positive charge. Dun yung source niya, dun siya mga galing, tapos nagpo-point siya away and towards the negative. Ito, may picture ako dito that shows that. Sa formula niya is electric field, equals to the electric force over Q. And Q is the charge. So, ito nade-derive siya doon sa Coulomb's law kanina, which is, maka-factor out yung isang Q. So, isa na lang yung Q na sa equation. So, yeah. Okay, we have one example. This one's, a bit easy. 500 Newton per Coulomb electric field is in the positive X direction. The force of an electron in this field is, bago natin i-compute yan, I think magandang strategy na, i-drawing natin yung problem. So, let me just annotate for a sec. Nakita yung ina-annotate ko. Kita?
Yes, Jack.
Alright. So, okay, let's say this is the negative x and this is the positive x. Tapos, may electron dito. Tapos, yung direction ng electric field is in the positive x direction. So, alam natin kanina na the electric field is equals to the force over the charge. Pero, ang missing na value dito is yung force. So, ang need natin anuhin is ito. So, pag ganyan, it's actually, i-modify lang natin yung equation para ma-suit yung need natin. Hanapin. In this case, we're going to multiply both sides by q para ma-cancel out to. So, we have a new equation from the old one na pinasend ko kanina sa slide. So, ganyan na lang siguro. Kunyari, pro tip na rin, kapag sa exam, may pinapahanap sa inyong missing na component and parang feeling mo wala siya sa notes. Usually, ibig sabihin nun, kukuha ka sa existing equations na rineview mo and i-modify mo lang siya. So, alam natin na, sorry, alam natin na F is equals to charge times electric field based dito. So, that's what we're gonna do. Given na yung 500 newtons per coulomb, that's RE, times, hindi ko pala to nalagay dito hindi ko nalagay sa slide, pero ang value ng charge ng electron, 3 sig figs aanayin ko. Since usually 3 sig figs. But it's 1.60 times 10 to the 19. Negative 19, sorry. It's really, really small. That's the charge of an electron. And a proton, actually. Parehas sila ng Iba lang yung sign. So, pag proton, obviously it's positive. Pag electron, it's negative. But same value. It's this one. So we're gonna do that. We're going to multiply 500 by 1.60 times 10 to the negative 19. Tapos, tanong ko lang pala kayo, pag may exam kayo, pinapayagan naman kayo mga calculators, no?
Yes.
Yeah. Alright, that's good. That's good. So, solve nyo lang to sa calculator nyo and you'll get the final result which is, proof, ano lang din, double check if parehas tayo na nakuha. So, ito ang naging final answer nung kinompute ko yung 500 newtons times 1.6 times 10 to the negative. Alright, good. So, ano, sa problem set, na isi-send ko mamaya after this session, solve nyo na on your own and papacheck nyo na lang sa akin if tama yung ginawa nyo. Yun. Pero, yun, nagawa ko problem set para pwede kayo pag-practice. We move on to electric flux. It's the amount of electric field passing an area. And I'm gonna draw a visual representation. So, kunyari, may electric field tayo na ganyan. Tapos, may dito, parang surface. Ang electric flux is yung amount ng electric field na dito sa surface na to. Ano man yan. Tapos, ang value niya is E dot A. And tinanong ko kayo nung kailan if meron kayong calculus. And sinabi niyo naman na meron. So, alam niyo naman ni E dot A. Pero in case not, it's a dot product. And it's just, E sub X times A sub X plus E sub Y times A sub Y. Or, pag gusto niyo kunin yung magnitude lang, kahit ito na lang. Itong angle na to, the cosine P, ano siya? I'm gonna draw this, but in a 2D perspective. Let's say naka-tilt ng konti itong surface. Ang cosine phi is ito. Ang phi pala. Ang phi is ito. Nakakuha niya. So, kapag inano natin to ng... Teka, paano? Oh, wait. A little correction lang pala. Di pala siya eh. So, kapag ano natin is perpendicular yung surface. Ano pala to? Si phi. Yun yung normal vector. Angle niya between the normal vector. So, kunyari, alright, correction lang kanina. My bad. Alam niya naman yung normal na tangent. Yun yung perpendicular sa surface. So, kung ganyan yung surface, ito yung normal niya. Tapos magkakaroon siya ng angle with the electric field. And that's phi. Yeah, yun. Yun si phi. So, kapag nakaano lang siya, ganito lang siyang naka-flat, ang magiging, niya, normal niya is parallel to the electric field. So, magiging cosine nila is 1. Kasi cosine of 0 is equal to 1. Tapos, bunayin ko to. Kapag naman nakahiga siya, like ganyan, yung surface, ang normal niya is pag ganito, perpendicular with the electric field and magiging 0 yung So, ayun na lang siguro. So, kahit mag-comment na lang kayo sa chat box, pero true or false, pag mas malaki yung angle ni phi, mas lumiliit yung value ni electric flux. Okay, may isa nang nag-message sa akin and correct yung answer niya. Pero yung the rest, ano, okay lang na magkamali kayo. Because This is just like a tutor session and naka-direct message naman sa akin. So, hindi. Okay, medyo marami-rami na yun. So, the answer is true. Kasi ayun nga, yung angle na to, pag zero to, ibig sabihin, ano siya, parallel dito. Mas marami yung electric flux. Tapos pag tinilt natin siya, mas liliit. Mas lalaki yung value ng angle, mas liliit si cosine. Until ano siya, mag 90 degrees. So magiging perpendicular yung electric field dun sa normal zero. So yeah, it's true. Tapos, okay, yung inano ko lang muna is tong una. Meron din itong pangalawa. This is for uneven surface. Hindi, unequal na electric field. So, kung hindi, kung hindi siya, kung hindi equal value ng electric field throughout the, surface, kunyari mas malaki siya dito. Pwede nyo gamitin ito. Pero, pag closed yung surface, merong mas, mabilis na way para mahanap electric flux kahit di nyo na to gawin. And that is, oh, hindi, mamaya na pala muna yun. That's Gauss law, but I'll explain that later. Ito, meron tayong problem dito. The flux of the electric field with these components, 15 I hat, 20 J hat, 5 K hat, through a 3 square meter portion of the YZ plane is, okay, I'm gonna draw this. And pag YZ, X is equal to 0. So, ito yun. So, alam natin na ang value nung, sorry, alam natin na ang value nung electric flux is E dot A. Kaso, ang ano lang dito is yung YZ plane. So, ayun lang yung ano na i-check natin. Yung component, yung nasa YZ plane. So, X equals to 0. So, kunyari, ito yung, teka, 15. Kunyari, ito yung direction ng flux. Ang check lang natin na component niya dito is yung X na ano niya kasi YZ yung plane. So, ito lang, 15 times 3, and we'll get 45 na flux, which is Newton squared. Ay, teka, nag-gets niyo ba ko bakit itong 15 lang ang important dito kasi YZ plane siya. So, ayun yung nasa X component. Bale, o pwede rin natin gawin yung longer method. Kukunin natin yung magnitude nito. So, it's gonna be 15 squared plus 20 squared plus 5 squared. Kasi multiply pa natin sa 3 times cosine, kung ano man yung angle na nagme-make niya with dito. In this case, ang angle na mamimake niya with the YZ is, no, ay, tama ba? Ito pala. Yeah. Okay, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na mas mabilis i-solve kapag closed yung surface. Tapos may charge sa loob. Gauss's law. Pakita ko paano siya dinerive. So, alam natin na ang flux is equal to E dot A. Tapos, gawa tayo ng, hypothetical scenario. Let's place charge here. And nasa loob siya ng sphere. Pero note ko lang, this applies to any closed surface. Any. Nagkataon lang na mas madali kasi gawa ng ang sphere. Yan. So, ano nga ba ang electric field? We know it's F over Q. May McDonald's burger ka ba? Sorry. So, we're gonna multiply this with the surface area ng sphere, which is 0.5 s. This is with geometry. And yeah. Mas alam natin na itong electric field is KQ over R. Tapos tong K, 1 over 1 over 4 pi epsilon. Tapos nakikita nyo na kung saan nanggaling to. Maka-cancel out to. And ito. Titira si Q over epsilon. Dun, dun yung origin nitong Gauss. Pero it applies to any closed surface. Not just a sphere. And note only charges inside the Gaussian surface. Oh, ito nga pala. Kunyari may surface dito. Tapos ang flux is positive. Ibig sabihin nun, mas marami yung umaalis kaysa pumapasok. So, yan. Leaving, mas marami sa entering. Tapos pag negative naman yung flux, mas marami yung nag-enter kaysa nag-leave. Tapos, meron ding, teka, bago tayo lumipat dito sa dipole moment, meron kayong questions? Or meron kayong nako-confuse kayo kung bakit ayun yung nakuha ang answer? Or ano, kahit mag-chat na lang kayo. Okay, na naman. So, ay sa previous problem, ano siya? The electric flux is E dot A. So, alam natin na yung area is 3. Tapos yung electric field, or wait, disregard na natin yung YZ plane. Ito yung YZ plane. Tapos, kukunin natin yung X component niya. Ayun. Ayun pala. Medyo naano ako sa explanation ko kanina. So, sorry. Di ba yung vector, may X component, may Y component, and may Z component. So, ang X component niya is automatic na para hindi na rin natin maano yung cosine. Kasi pag perpendicular yung, ay hindi, oo, pag perpendicular yung cosine na angle, cosine, theta, sa unit vector netong surface na to. Ibang, ay, tangent pala, tangent vector. Wait. So, let me think. Ang tangent vector netong surface na to is pointing to the x-axis kasi YZ plane siya. Tama. So, kapag kinuha natin yung x component nito, parallel yung dalawa. And magiging 1 lang tong cosine. So, matitira na lang is e times a. And since yung x component lang ang aanin natin, that's 15. Ito yun, yung x component. Times 3, which is yung area. That's how we got 45. Ayun. Mas naano ko na lang. I hope mas na-explain ko na ng maayos. Bale, okay, may tanong. Oo, ganun. If, kunyari yung XY naman, ang tangent, ay, ang normal vector niya is parallel to the Z, Z-axis. Kaya, mas madali gamitin itong k-hat. Ayan. Yeah, same approach din. Okay, I hope mas na-explain ko na ng maayos this time. Ito may tanong. Possible lang may tanong na XYZ naman na coordinate. Paano XYZ? Anong buo na? Yung walang ganun tanong. Kasi kung XYZ, eto. Well, yeah, I don't think so. Wala akong nakitang ganun tanong nung exam ako. Yeah. Is it possible for a problem to only be? Yes, actually. Possible siya na on one plane lang. Kunyari, ito yung electric field. Tapos ang ibibigay sa'yo na ano is ganito. Ito yung surface. Tapos hahanapin mo yung flux niya. Ano, pwede 2D lang yung problem sa electric flux. Okay. May further questions pa kayo? Sa mga previous na topic, yung electric force, electric field, or etong Gauss law, meron pa kayong inquiries? Wala na nagka-comment. So, I think, pwede na tayo mag-move on. Itong dipole moment, may onting chemistry to. So, I hope nag-chemistry class na rin kayo. Pero kung hindi, I'll explain it naman the best I can. So, alam niyo yung kapag may positive na charge na something and may negative. Di ba sinabi ko, nag-a-attract sila. Tapos yung electric, yung parang direction niya is from positive to negative. Parang ganyan. So, in dipole moment, it's just the charge times the distance. So, kung shortest distance possible pala. Kasi maraming possible na. Itong shortest possible, that's D. And you're just gonna multiply that. Ang super straightforward nito. So, carry naman. Tsaka, onti lang yung mga problem sa exam namin nung nag-focus niya. Pero yun, basta as long as alam mo na the dipole moment is yung charge times the distance. You're set na dito. Dito tayo sa torque. Kinematics and dynamics na kayo, no? So, ano naman na to? Di ba may tinuro sa inyong concept ng torque, which is R cross force. Yung kapag rotational yung may ganun din tong electric force. Kasi force siya eh. Obviously. So, modify lang natin ng konti. Paano to nakuha? Dito siya galing actually. Alam natin na electrical force is E times, ay mali. Ay, tama. E times Q. Yeah, that's our force. We're gonna cross it with R. Ang R, alam natin na R is, and R times, R in this case is the distance. And pwede natin maano yung dipole moment dyan. If we let R be D, kasi pares silang distance, kung magiging lang siya, P cross E. Dun galing itong equation na to. Tapos para makuha natin yung magnitude, let's say magnitude lang ang kailangan. Para lang other types ng cross product. Just multiply them and their angle na nakasign. So, parang kabaligtaran to nun sa flux. Kasi dito naman, actually ganun pag sign eh. Pag mas malaki yung angle, like from 0 to 90 lang exclusively. Kasi if we go further, if we go 180, liliit uli siya. Mag-shrink back to zero siya. So, yeah. If we go from, zero lang ang value nito, tapos ang value nito is 1. So, kapag perpendicular yung electric field, tsaka yung dipole moment, let's say ito yung dipole moment, hmm, yun yung, niya, highest possible value niya. Tapos, pag naging parallel siya, bali maging ganyan. Since ang angle between the dipole and the field is zero, zero lang siya. I hope na-gets niyo. May tanong kayo dito. Okay, wala naman. Ano yung represent ng P? P is the dipole moment. Yung pinakita ko kanina na plus minus, itong minus na charge. Kasi ito yung distance between them. Ano, yun yung parang product ng distance and ng charge. That's P. That's the dipole moment. And yeah, common to sa chemistry, as I've said kanina. Kasi 'di ba, yung mga atoms, they have dipole moments. Tapos, may iba pang tanong? Wala na. Okay. Let's go to electric potential energy. So, here's the thing about electric potential energy. It's surprisingly not that different from a regular na potential energy na tinuro sa inyo sa dynamics. That's why I use this picture of a mountain here. Dandan niya pa yung tinuro sa inyo sa potential energy. So, kunyari itong ground, this is zero. Let's set this as yung height equals zero. So, pag mas mataas ka, sa taas yung peak mo, mas mataas ang potential energy mo. Tandaan niyo yun, no? Tapos pag nag-slide down ka, mabawasan yung potential energy mo, iba mo convert to kinetic until it reaches zero. Tandaan niyo yun, no? Hopefully. Yeah. Kasi medyo analogous doon ang electric potential energy. I'll explain in an instant. Ang electric potential energy, okay, this is one positive charge. As you can see, ito, ano to? Since dipole has two charges, di ba? So like Q1, Q2, Q. Or like same magnitude. Uh, dapat same magnitude ang charge. Ay, sa dipole moment. Ano, lang, isang lang, kunyari, how do I explain this? Alright, I'm gonna draw again. This is the plus, this is the minus. And ito yung distance. So, wait, ano ulit yung tanong mo? Should it be Q1 times Q2 times D? And not really. Not really. Kasi, paano ko ba to explain? Ano to eh? Wait. ang dipole moment, it's just, one of these charges. So, either pwedeng eto or eto at the moment. So, it's either, kunin mo yung dipole moment na ito, which is Q times D, or dipole moment na ito. Pero isa lang, usually, isa sila lang. Kasi, ah, kasi usually to eh, this is a proton and this is an electron. And, same sila ng value ng charge, iba lang ng signs. So, parang isa lang din ang magiging magnitude na ito. Opposite sign lang. Oh, yeah, add ko na rin pala. ang direction ng dipole moment is always from negative to positive. Yeah. Kabaligtaran to ng electric field. Kasi di ba pag ang electric field, from positive to negative, this is like the opposite. So as I was saying earlier, yung analogy ng potential energy sa kinematics and potential energy sa electricity, halos at same lang din. Kasi this is a positive charge and this is a negative. Nakita nyo naman sa electric fields. Pag mas malapit ka dito sa kung mas malapit ka dito sa positive charge, yun yung maximum na electric potential energy. Tapos, pag pababa ka ng pababa hanggat makaabot ka dito sa negative na charge, nababawasan yung electric potential, it's like a ball sliding off a mountain. Pero in this case, it's sliding off, ano, from a positive charge to a negative charge. Dito, from a high point to a low point. Parang ganun yung analogy niya. So, ang specific na equation ng electric potential energy is, ito. May onting integration lang, pero since ang calculus naman na kayo, medyo, carry nyo naman. Alam nyo naman sa previous na kinematics and dynamics lessons nyo na force times distance yung work. And this case may ano siya kasi hindi naman even ang work all the time. And kung substitute natin ang force, since electric siya, with this one, the value for electric force, we can integrate this until we reach this value. And this is, ay typo pala ako. I'll fix this kung isa-send ko man sa inyo yung slides. Dapat may negative sign to. Kasi like, the integral of 1 over r squared is negative 1r. Well, negative 1 over r. So, yun, may negative sign to. Tapos, ito yung, and this is from B to A. Or, wait, actually, tama to kung A minus B, pero mawala yung negative sign. Pero if we go by usual convention, pwede rin ganito. Okay, wala palang correction. Tama lang. And this is and this is equal to the negative potential energy. So, ang negative change in potential energy, and hence the delta sign. And this is how we arrive to this equation. Tapos, meron pa. Yung electric potential. Anote ko lang pala sa terminologies, baka magkalituhan kayo. Magkaiba yung electric potential energy sa electric potential lang. This is in joules. Yeah, it's a form of potential energy, so it's in joules. This is voltage. So, ang niya is volts. Para sa session natin tomorrow, which tackles more on EMFs, voltage, currents, and stuff. Important tong voltage. Kaya na natin siya ngayon. You can get the voltage from the potential energy over the charge of one of the objects. And we get this. Okay, Q over R. Okay, we have an example. A 10 centimeter radius conducting sheet has a surface. Okay, remember niyo yung sinabi ko kanina na may mga sample problems na na surface charge density ang binibigay na value. Ito yan. So, ganda kung ganito is, ingat, let's draw the problem. It's a sphere na may 10 centimeters. Tapos, ang kukunin natin is electric potential, not potential energy, but electric potential. So, that's just V equals U over Q, which is equal to K times Q over R. So, substitute natin yung values. 0.10. Turuan naman na kayo, no? Paano mag-convert meters to centimeters, to millimeters, to micro, etc. If not, message nyo lang sa inbox so I can help. So, ito yung radius, 10 centimeters. Ginawa kong 0.10 meters kasi mas convenient that way. Kasi meters talaga ang standard. K is 8.99 times 10 to the 9. Tapos Q, okay, ang given is surface charge density. And lambda ba yung simple? Wait, ano yun eh? It's a Greek letters usually ang ginagamit na symbols sa. Oh, it's not lambda. I think lambda is for linear nga pala. The symbol is this. And that's sigma. Sigma pala. Sigma. Ang symbol ng surface charge. Ang sigma natin is 2 times 10 to the negative 8. Alam natin na surface charge is equals to Q over area. So to get Q, we just multiply the area to the surface charge density. So, yun. Ito si Q magiging tong surface charge density 2 times 10 to the negative 8 times the area. Ito yun. Ang area ng sphere is just 4 pi r squared. In this case, r is 0.10 squared. Tapos, compute, compute nyo siya sa calculators nyo. Tong, value na to. Tapos dapat, ideally, ang magiging final answer natin is 226 volts. Ano to? 3 sig figs. Kasi like, 3 sig figs yung nasa problem. May mga props na medyo strict on significant figures. Pro tip na din. So, yeah, be watchful na lang din sa sig figs. Ano, ano na lang pala, cross-ref, pa-check na din sa calculators nyo if 226 yung lumabas na answer. Okay, nice, nice. Okay. So, let's move on to the next part, which is capacitance. It's the ratio between electric charge and its voltage. Tas, medyo obvious yung magiging equation niya. Since ratio between electric charge and voltage, it's Q over V. And may alternative way. Usually, kapag nag-solve ko yung problems, it's either given si Q and si V, or ang given is area and distance. In which case, pwede nyo to gamitin as alternative. This is applicable for parallel plates, which we'll discuss more in depth tomorrow, October 17th. Yeah, ako din yung tutor tomorrow. Meron dun yung mga parallel plates and ipapahanap yung capacitance niya. Na-derive ito from, actually ito, nakita na kung paano siya dinerive. We know that, the voltage is equals to electric field times distance. Tapos, itong electric field, we're gonna, set this as this. Tapos, wait. Baka may nagtatanong kung paano ito nakuha. Ano siya? Ganito, Oh wait, sorry about that. This is yung ano, Gauss's law, Q over epsilon. That's that's the flux in an enclosed surface equals to E times A. Tapos, we're gonna divide both sides by A. So, dun nakuha to. Tapos, magka-cancel out lang ito. Tapos, nalilipat tong dalawa dito. Ayun yung... Tapos, we can also express the electric potential energy in terms of capacitance. So, kunyari may sample problem kayo, tapos ang binigay ay pahanap sa inyo yung electric potential energy. Pero, hindi given ang hindi given yung distance between the two charges, hindi given. Ang given lang is yung capacitance and yung voltage. Pwede nyo to gamitin. Or ito. Either of those three, actually. Tapos, eto. Hanggang dito lang yung scope ng ano natin eh. Nabasa ko doon sa memo. It's from electric charges up to capacitance. So, I think we're almost done. And medyo mabilis tayo ngayon ah. Wala pang 1 hour. Pero yun. I'm gonna solve this problem here. A parallel plate capacitor has a plate area of 0.5 squared and a plate separation of 0.3 kilograms. Tapos, ang charge niya ay... Okay, so ang given sa atin is the area, the distance, and the charge. Tapos, check natin alin dito pinaka-applicable. So, this case, ang applicable dito is... Wait, and... Oh wait, how do you derive capital Q from the electric? Okay, bago natin ito isan. May nagtatanong sa akin. Is, which one are you referring to pala? This one? Tama no, ito. So, this is Q squared over 2C. Tapos, alam natin na C is just Q over V. So, this is gonna be... Maka-cancel out yung isa neto. Magiging ano na lang siya. Kasi ito malilipat sa taas. So, QV over 2, which is ito. Pero pwede natin siya express as ito if we let Q equals C times V. Magiging ito siya. So, yeah, any of these three will do. Yeah, yeah. Alright, where was I? Okay, this is the distance. Tapos, in charge. Wait. Okay, okay. So, hanapin natin dito is electric potential. Tapos, alam natin na equation niya is Q squared over 2C. Oh, oh, wait, just a sec. Hello, I'm back. Sorry for the delay. May nag-call sa akin. So, so we can use any of these three equations. Tignan natin ano yung pinaka-suitable. I think we can use this. So, q squared over 2c. Sin- And since we know na c is equals to epsilon times a over d, pwede natin, ano yun to? Q squared over 2 epsilon a times d. Tapos, substitute natin yung appropriate na numbers. So, it's, wait, electric potential pala. Oh, my bad. So, kapag V, di-divide lang natin sa Q. So, mabu- over Q, maka-cancel out to. So, V is equals to Q over 2C. Okay, my bad. I'm so sorry. So, it's gonna be 1 times 10 to the negative 8 times the distance, which is zero point 0.3 over epsilon. Hindi ko to nabigay sa ano, pero note nyo na lang, epsilon is 8.85 times 10 to the negative 12. That's the vacuum permittivity. I said it earlier. Oh, wait, no, not 12. Sorry. Tama, 12 pala. Yeah, it's 12. Negative 12. Sorry. Times 10 to the negative 12. Times, the area is zero point 0.5. Tapos, wait. Okay. Pwede naman pala. Teka, sorry. Pwede naman palang ano, C equals Q over V na lang. Tapos, V is equals to, ano, Q over C. Which is, oh, wala si 2 pala. Kung ganun. Ayan. Let me go from the top. So, hinahanap natin yung electric potential, not potential energy. My bad. And, pwede natin siya hanapin using this equation. Transpose na lang natin para si V ang hahanapin. We get this. Tapos si capacitance, since may given naman tayo na area and distance, and constant naman si, sorry, constant naman si epsilon, so carry naman siya. Tapos, may correction ako. Naka-millimeter pala to. So, it's times 10 to negative 3. Tapos, solve nyo na lang. Ang, dapat ang final answer is, eto. Paki-check na lang kung, sorry. Paki-check na lang kung ayan yun. Yung lumabas sa inyo. Hello. Na ano nyo, ano nyo, na proofread nyo kung ito nga yung lumabas from dito. 6.8. Ah, okay. I'm so sorry. If sinend ko yung slide, ira-round off nga pala. This is 6.8. Yeah, 8. Ano, check ko rin sa akin. Teka. Oo, 6.8 nga. Okay, I'll just fix this slide. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Yeah, it should round off to 6.8. So, yeah, that's it. This is for day 2 na. Ang ano natin natapos ngayon 1 hour lang Siguro ano na lang. Teka. May may clarifications pa kayo or questions or ano man? Is the value of epsilon usually given in problems? Hmm, no. I don't think so. I think it's best if you, pero pag paulit-ulit mo naman sinasolve, maaalala mo siya. Yeah, it's best if you know the value of epsilon. And K din, ano, si epsilon is 8.85 times 10 raised to negative 12. Tapos si K is 8.99 times 10 raised to 9. Um, if paulit-ulit mo siya nakikita, I think you might memorize it kahit subconsciously. Saan nakuha? Oh, sphere. I think this is the Gauss's law, right? Yung pag-derive. This one. I, wait, no, no. I think it's the sample problem pala. This one. Wait, I'm gonna rewrite this my solution there. V equals KQ over R and 0.10 meters, that's the radius, times 8.99 times 10 raised to 9. Tapos si Q is, ano, Q is equal to the surface charge density times the area. So it's 2 times 10 raised to negative 8. Tapos, this is the surface area of a sphere. This is 4 pi r squared. This is surface area of a sphere. Kasi 'di ba surface charge density yung ano. Yeah. What else? Ano pa? May ano. I'll give you 5 minutes para kung may inquiries kayo and questions, drop them ahead. I'll just recap everything now we've discussed so far. So, electric charges, their fundamental property of matter, one of the seven. Standard unit is Coulomb. It has two types, positive and negative. And the net charge of an object is just like the sum of all the charges within it. And if all of the and if yung net charge niya is zero, zero yung niya charge niya. Like charges repel, unlike charges attract. We usually represent math objects in problems as a point charge for easier representation, in which case it lacks volume and area. Um, Objects can be conductors or insulators. Conductors allow flow of charge, insulators do not. And electric charges can have electrical force emitting from them, and it can be calculated using Coulomb's law, which is K times the first charge times the second charge over R squared. K is 8.99 times 10 raised to 9, which is 1 over 4 pi epsilon, the vacuum permittivity. We also have the charge densities of an object. It can be linear, surface, or volume. We have electric fields that can emit out of an electric charge. It's just the electrical force over the charge. And the direction of the vector is from positive to negative. We also have the electric flux, the amount of electric field going through an area, and it's just electric field dot the area. And there's Gauss' law for enclosed surfaces, which is the charge over epsilon naught. We have dipole moments, um, the charge times the distance between the two charges, and then the torque, the dipole moment cross the electric field. We have electric potential energy, which is the amount of energy required to move a charge across a field, and it's kq times q over r. And then we have the electric potential or the voltage, which is kq over r. And then there's capacitance, the ratio between electric charge and the voltage, q over v. So, ayun, yun lang yung napakabilis na recap ng everything na napag-usapan na. And since wala na nagtatanong sa inbox ko, okay. I think pwede na natin sino yung nagre-record? I think we can pause the recording already. Miscellaneous na to. Gusto niyo ng mga tips and tricks for the exam? Ano, usually kasi may mga problems na if hindi ka sure sa answer mo, you can do processes of elimination. What do I mean by that? Kunyari, may A, B, C, and D ka. And if hinulaan mo lang siya, may 25% chance ka lang na maging tama. Pero, pag ganun, kina-cross out mo yung answers na alam mo na mali. So, kunyari, yung A tsaka yung C, alam mo na hindi possible yun. So, cross out mo. Matitira na lang si B and si D. So, mas mataas na yung chance mo na maano yun. 50% na yung chance mo na. Tapos, from there, just work it out, I guess. Ayun. That's for Mulcho. And answer the easier questions first. Medyo counterintuitive kasi, pero ano siya, para kapag huli niyo i-answer yung mahirap na tanong para at least kapag malapit na matapos yung oras ng exam, marami na kayo nasagutan. Nasagutan nyo na yung mga easy end ng mga questions. Makakapag-focus na kayo sa hard questions na hindi kayo makaka-constraint ng time. And siguro aral din kayo ng onting kinematics and dynamics kahit tapos na kayo doon kasi may naging ako dati na nakitang problem sa exam namin. Gumamit kami ng onting kinematics talaga. Like may velocity. Tapos i-relate siya dito sa mga electrical charges. Ayun. And what else? Ano pa ba mga? Ayun lang siguro. I'll send the problem set for what we've discussed today, mamaya, this day. And pagtapos na kinabukasan, if natapos na natin yung session natin tomorrow, I can send yung formula sheet ko. Nandun na nakasummarize lahat ng mga equations and yung mga value ng constants tulad ni epsilon and decay. Send ko siya tomorrow after ng tutor session natin. Siguro ayun lang. I think we're done. I officially end our tutor session.
Thank you, Zach. Ma'am. Okay, wait, sige. Ask ko lang kung confident na ba kayo about Gauss's law. Palike na lang kung oo, tapos huwag kayo mag-react if not. Okay, mukhang lahat hindi ah. Sige, wait. Okay lang ba kung mag-extend tayo? Try ko lang ituro. Zach, thank you pala, thank you. Sige, wait lang. Bigyan niyo ako 5 minutes to prepare. Kita naman. Hello. Wait lang. Pasabi kong medyo choppy ah. Start tayo sa electric field. Let's say meron tayong charge na ang distance is 2D. The question is, ano yung electric field at point P? Let's say nandito. May idea ba tayo kung paano to sinasolve? Like kung meron or heart kapag wala. Sige. So para ma-solve natin to, kailangan natin ng distance from point papunta dun sa charge. This is the longest way. Ito yung shortest. Tama. Ang shortest way niya is, let's say, Z lang yan. Paano naman tong mahaba? Paano siya kinocompute? Mag-introduce tayo ng panibagong variable. Since yung charges natin ay ang distance is 2D, pwede natin i-assume na under ng P papunta sa isang charge is letter D. D, D. Tama. So para mahanap natin yung longest side, alam niyo ba yung distance formula? Sige, ano lang siya? Z squared plus D squared square root 9. Yung ano natin, longest side from point P papunta sa isang charge. Sunod. Alam ba natin yung formula ng electric field? Ang electric field natin is yung K, where K is 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught. Multiply natin sa summation ng mga charges. Gets yan? Q. Kasi di ba ang formula ng electric field natin is KQR squared? Naturo ba yan? Okay, pero yun yan. So start tayo. At point Q, ang magiging formula niya is K, positive na Q, all over R squared. Ano yung R natin? May alam ba kung ano yung R natin? Sagot kayo guys. Alam niyo ba yung R natin dito sa equation?
Distance?
Yes, distance lang siya. Anong distance tinutukoy? Yung may square root or yung wala?
Yung may square root.
Very good. So, magiging E is equal to K positive Q all over ng Z squared plus D squared. Bakit naging Z squared siya ka D squared na lang siya? Tandaan natin yung denominator is naka-squared. So, i-square natin yung naka-square root. Matitira is yung nasa loob lang, which is yung Z squared plus D squared. Gets yun, di ba? So, ganun din mangyayari sa kabilang side. So, equal lang to. Tsaka ito. Gets yan? Goods. Sunod naman tayo is yung Gauss's law na. Gauss's law. Sorry kung di ba spelling na. Start tayo sa, let's say, may plane. And meron tayong electric field na nagpa-pass through sa plane natin. Ang tanong is, ano yung electric flux? Meron bang nakakalam ng electric flux? Ang electric flux natin, ibig sabihin lang yan, ilan daw yung mga pumapasok na electric field lines doon sa plane. Yun lang yun. So, dinidenote natin siya na ganito. Integral. Bakit integral? Integral is just a fancy term for summation kasi kailangan natin bilangin lahat ng electric field, which is yung E, na nagpa-pass through doon sa area. Ano ibig sabihin ng E dot product dA? Ibig sabihin, hindi naman kailangan kumpitin natin yung total talaga eh. We can just get a portion ng area and isa-summate lang natin siya. So let's say, ito yung dA mo. dA, tandaan, can be any shape. Pwedeng circular, cylindrical, rectangular, whatsoever. Sige, example tayo. Kunyari, meron tayong infinite plane yan na, nag-expand in all directions, na meron daw siyang surface charge density na sigma. Ang tanong, ano daw yung electric field? Recall, ano yung sigma natin? Pwede mo magsabi, ano yung sigma natin? Surface charge density daw eh. Eh alam ko kanina sinabi siya ni Zach. Ano yung surface charge density natin? It is the charge over, ano guys? Area. Tama ba, Zach? Goods. Ang concept lang ng charge density natin, gusto niya lang bilangin yung bilangin, pero malaman yung charge per unit. Let's say charge per unit line, charge per unit area, or charge per unit volume. Alin lang yun sa tatlo? So, mag-introduce tayo dito ngayon ng Gaussian pillbox. Ang Gaussian pillbox, fancy term na naman siya ng parang Gaussian area na para malaman natin yung total electric field, kailangan na natin ng portion nun. So, let's say ito siya. Ito yung pillbox niyan. Pangit lang. Okay. Ang formula ng electric field natin is E dot dA is equal to Q enclosed all over epsilon naught. Feel ko naturo naman yung concept na to, no? Like, kung yes. Yung formula lang. Okay, goods, naturo naman. Okay. Hala, meron tayong dalawang side. Anong uunahin natin? Either of the two. Let's say, ang kinocompute natin is, so anong paglalaroan natin? Lahat ng terms na nakikita nyo, yung dA, yung Q enclosed, tsaka yung epsilon naught. First tayo, ano yung tinutukoy ng Q enclosed? Yun yung charge density na sigma. Eh, yung sigma natin is equal to, ano? Ano yung sigma natin? Q over A. So, sa ano natin, sa formula natin, kapag Q enclosed, automatic given siya. For example, meron kang meron kang box. Ano yung Q enclosed mo dyan? Sigma. Bakit sigma? Area kasi to eh. For example, meron kang line. Anong charge density mo dyan? Or yung Q enclosed? Lambda. For example, meron kang cube. Anong charge density mo dito? Rho. Yun lang yun. So in this case, ano gagamitin natin? At yung infinite plane, meron tayong Gaussian pillbox. Actually, nga siya box eh, para siyang flat rectangular plane. Lambda, sigma, or rho? Pwede ba may magsabi?
Sigma.
Good, sigma. So, magiging ano natin is E dot dA is equal to sigma all over epsilon naught. Sa amin kasi, hindi kami nagko-compute talaga ng numbers. More on variables lang lahat. So, feeling ko acceptable na siya kung ganyan siya or pwedeng in numerical form siya. So, proceed tayo. Sunod nating variable, ano yung tinutukoy na dA? Diba dA ang sabi ko is just the portion of the area. So, ano bang area ng isang rectangle? Ano ba yung area ng rectangle?
Length and width.
Length and width? Okay, good. Length times width. Pero in this case, hindi tayo magaganon. Ang nahin lang natin is, wait, sorry. Letter A lang. E dot A, where A is length times width. Hindi natin mag-introduce ng maraming variables. Okay na yung konti lang. So, assume natin na yung area ng rectangle is just letter A. Goods? Goods. Okay. Sunod naman. Kung makikita natin yung diagram natin, merong nasa taas, meron nasa baba. So, ilan yung area niya? Is it just A or 2A? 2A lang siya. Kasi lagi natin i-assume na kapag maglalagay tayo ng isang box or let's say ng sheet, lagi siyang equal amount yung up tsaka down. Kasi hindi naman natin sure kung mas mataas ba mas malaki ba yung portion ng area sa taas or sa baba. So it is safe na i-assume natin is parehas kalahati lang. So meron tayong A pataas tsaka A pababa. Goods ba yan? Hindi naman magbibigay sa exam na parang 3/7 na sa taas, 4/7 na sa baba. It's always half, palagi yun. Pero kung sakaling magbibigay ng 3/7 sa taas saka 4/7 sa baba, edi easy lang siya to compute sa area. You just have to sub, let's say, E times 37A or E times 47A. Ganun lang siya. So in this case, ang total area niya is 2A. E 2A is equal to sigma all over epsilon naught. Nakasunod? Goods. Sunod naman natin i-introduce yung integral form naman ng charge density. Ayan, itong tatlo. Ang alam lang kasi natin is ganito. Let's say meron kang sigma is equal to Q over, charge all over L. Paano naman yung small portion niya? Dito siya nanggaling. dq is equal to lambda dl, where q is the smallest portion ng charge and dl is the smallest portion ng length ng isang line. Gets? So in this case, meron tayong sigma. Kung ang sigma natin, following lang natin yung formula ng sa lambda, magiging dq is equal to sigma dA. Bakit dA na naman? Di ba ang sabi ko kanina, ang sigma natin, it is the charge per unit area. So kapag i-integrate natin siya, maging Q is equal to sigma A or sigma is equal to Q over A. Kagaya ng tinuro ni Zach. Gets ba? Pero in this case, lagi natin gagamitin yung integral form kasi ang Gauss's law, integral yan. Pero in the case na let's say multiple choice siya, I think it is safe na gagamitin natin yung sigma is equal to QA. Pero once na problem solving siya, mag-integral tayo. Yun yung pinaka-madali tsaka pinaka-tama na way. So proceed. E 2A is equal to sigma, sigma all over epsilon naught. Or ano yung sigma natin? It is, ano guys, ano yung sigma natin? Ano yung sigma? Yun yung sigma dA. Bakit ito, tsaka ito, the same lang? Kasi di ba ano siya, sa Gauss's law natin, Q enclosed. Ano ba yung tinutukoy na Q enclosed? Yun yung dq is equal to the integral ng sigma times the smallest area. So, ganun lang siya. So, kung integrate natin both sides, ay yung right side lang, maging E 2A is equal to sigma A all over epsilon naught. Gets? Kasi ang mangyayari, magka-cancel yung A, E is equal to sigma all over 2 epsilon naught. Ayan yung electric field natin sa case na to. Gets? Like sign kung gets, or pwede kayong mag-raise ng hand kung may questions kayo. Marami-rami pa to. Okay, goods. Paano naman kung dalawa na yung plane? Ang tanong, ano daw yung electric field sa taas, dito sa region A? Ano yung electric field sa gitna? Ano yung electric field sa baba? May idea ba kayo kung paano? Hala. Ganito lang. Since nahanap na natin yung electric field ng isang plane, automatic, yung electric field sa letter A at C, it is the same. Diba? Kasi ito lang siya eh. Sa isang plane, Ito na yung electric field natin, na-compute natin kanina. Tama? Hello po. Nagets ba yun? Let's say ito. Ano yung electric field natin dito, dito, tsaka dito? Tandaan, ang electric field ng isang plane lang, plane sheet, is sigma all over 2 epsilon naught. Ang nagba-matter lang dito is yung direction. So, mag-introduce tayo ng r hat. Ay, k pala, k. Assume natin yung k natin is up and down, z-axis. Since yung a tsaka c, the same lang naman, na-compute natin kanina, pwede ko nang sabihin na yung electric field sa region C, it is just the same sa region A. Anong pinagkaiba? Negative k hat naman siya. Bakit negative k hat? Kasi yung portion niya is sa baba. So, kailangan tandaan to . Kapag inanap yung electric field sa region A or basta lagi nasa top, laging positive yun, yung orientation. Kapag nasa baba naman or below, negative k. Pero magnitude-wise, yung sigma lang over 2 epsilon naught. Okay, paano naman sa gitna? May idea ba kayo kung paano kinukumpute yung electric field sa gitna? Okay, wala. Ganito lang. I-add mo lang yung electric field ng present sa region B. Gets ba yun? Magiging sigma all over 2 epsilon naught plus sigma all over 2 epsilon naught, which is sigma all over epsilon naught. Ganun lang siya. Nagets ba yun? Yung iba, nagets yun? So, lumabas naman sa exam. May dinagdag na naman sa baba. Ibig sabihin, yung region B tsaka region C, parehas na sigma all over epsilon naught, tsaka yung region A tsaka region D is sigma all over 2 epsilon naught. Ganun lang yan. Hala, ang question naman, ano naman yung direction niya? Ano po? May direction ba sa gitna? Daniel. Daniel boy. May direction ba sa gitna?
Is that me?
Yeah.
Yeah, kasi hindi ako sanay sa Daniel.
Sorry.
I'm not sure. Actually, I think direction sa gitna. I think, okay, I'm not sure. Gitna. I'll answer, I think wala, but I'm not sure po with it.
Same tayo. Kasi tingnan nyo, kung yung direction ng A tsaka C magkaiba, ibig sabihin ganun din sa gitna. Nagets niyo yan? Yan, ito pataas, ito pababa, ito pababa, ito pataas. May direction ba siya or wala?
Wala.
Hala, bakit naman wala? Lahat ng electric field natin may direction. Di ba ang direction niya is from positive to negative? Pero in this case, wala muna siyang direction, pero meron. Ay, mali ako sinabi. Meron siyang direction, pero hindi pa siya matutukoy since wala pa tayo ini-introduce na charge talaga. Hindi natin alam kung saan yung positive dyan, saan yung negative dyan. Pero since orientation-wise, meron siya. K lang. Nagets niyo yun? K lang muna siya as of now since hindi pa naman siya na-introduce ng panibagong charge para magkaroon ng distortion sa direction ng electric field. Anyway, sige, next tayo. Wait, meron na ba kayong potential? Sige, mukhang wala pa. Sunod naman is, let's say meron tayong cylinder. Ayan, cylinder. Kunyari, ang haba niya is Z. Tapos yung radius ng cylinder natin is A. Ang tanong, alin part dito ang nagko-contribute sa electric field natin? Assuming ng electric field natin is going up and going down. Going up lang. Ayan. Tandaan ha, palagi nagbabago yung electric field natin. Hindi lang siya palaging up and down, pwede rin siyang mag-sideway, pwede siyang slanted rin. So anong kinalaman niya sa sa Gauss's law? Meron kasing kapag let's say ito ang electric field mo pa ganito, ang electric field pa ganyan. Sa cylinder to sa cylinder. Ayan. Okay, palitan ko lang kulay. Ibig sabihin, meron kang electric field sa side. E-field sa side, yes. Pero E-field sa up and down, wala. Hala, bakit wala? Kasi 'di ba, kung i-expand natin yung electric field, meron siyang R cosine theta component. Wait lang. E is equal to KQ. Wait lang, sorry E, K. I'm not sure dito. Wait lang, search ko lang saglit kung tama ka. Okay, R squared. Bakit mahalaga yung cosine theta dito? Kasi cosine theta, siya yung nagde-denote ng direction ng electric field mo. Gets yun? Bakit sa formula namin hindi siya tinuturo? Tignan nyo, kung yung electric field natin is going to the right, ano yung theta natin going to the right? Diba? It's just 0. So, anong cosine 0 mo? It's just 1. So, magiging E is equal to KQR squared times 1. Gets ba? Bakit sinabi ko kanina na walang contribution yung up and down? Kasi ano ba yung cosine 90? Perpendicular. Diba 0 lang siya? So, hindi na nagmamatter yung up and down mo. So, ganito rin siya sa second case natin. What if naman yung electric field natin is going down naman? Up and down. E is equal to KQR squared cosine theta. Ayan. Ang tanong dito, alin yung nagko-contribute? Yung dalawang sides or hindi? Yung dalawang bilog or yung whole cylinder? Hello? Ano yung nagko-contribute? Yung dalawang circle or yung size ng cylinder?
Yung sides.
Yes, very good. Size lang. Kasi, ganito ulit. KQ R squared cosine 0 for circles to Kaya mahalaga yung orientation tsaka yung direction ng electric field kasi konting modification lang, may iba na yung formula mo. So, going back tayo sa problem. Ang tanong, alin dito yung nagko-contribute? Alin dito yung nagko-contribute? Yung sides, yung circles, or yung side ng cylinder?
Yung sides pa rin po.
Sure.
Not sure po.
Tingnan natin. Balik tayo sa formula ng Gauss's law. E dot dA is equal to Q enclosed all over epsilon naught. Pwede siyang ganito, yung formula, or pwede rin ganito ha. E dot dA is equal to dQ is equal to hindi, tanong, ano yung charge density na gagamitin natin dito? Is it lambda, sigma, or rho?
Raw?
Bakit rho? Sino nagsasabing lambda? Hala, wala nagsasabi ng lambda. Actually, lambda ang sagot dito. Hala, bakit naman? Line is just the smallest, let's say, smallest figure ng isang cylinder or a wire. Pag sinabing wire, cylinder, line, lambda palagi yan. Gets yan? Kasi di ba ganito ang wire? Kapag in-expand mo siya, meron kang makapal dito, ganyan. Which is a cylinder. Yun lang yan. Proceed tayo. Ano yung smallest area ng isang cylinder? Hindi. Yung A na tinutukoy dito, hindi talaga siya, hindi, tama A siya. Pero A at the boundary. Kasi di ba walang electric field sa loob ng isang medium or ng isang material, lagi lang siya naglalay on the material. So, ang D natin dito is 2 pi AL. Tama ba A? Ayan. Para mas madaling matandaan, ang DA na tinutukoy palagi dito is yung surface area. Hindi siya automatic area talaga. Surface area lang siya. Once na may charge. Pero kapag wala, area lang. Gets yun? Sunod tayo. Ano yung dq natin? dq natin is equal to lambda times, ano yung integral ng dl? Is L. Saan ko nakuha yung dl? Yung dl is just the smallest portion ng cylinder natin. Ito. Let's say, ito lang yung dl mo. Ay, dz pala. Ayan. So, mali ako. Lambda z siya. Gets? Sunod, all over epsilon naught. Ito z rin pala to. Anong pwede mag-cancel out sa equation natin? Yung z. So, ang total electric field niya is lambda all over epsilon naught 2 pi radius a. Ayan lang yan. Ang tanong, anong direction? Anong direction niya? Is it r hat? Is it I hat, J hat, or K hat? K hat siya. Kasi sa figure natin, pataas. Is it positive or negative? Positive dapat. So, yun lang muna for now. Sana may nagets kayo sa Gauss's law. Normally, ay lang yung lumalabas. Kasi ang pinakamadaling isolve is yung sphere. Pero try ko mamaya mag-send ng notes about sa sphere and sa other figures na maaaring lumabas sa exam nyo. Pero normally, ang laging pinaglalaroan dyan is yung plane tsaka cylinder. So, dapat dyan kayo mag-focus slide. So, yun lang. May nagets ba? Okay, goods. Sige, siguro yun muna for now and bukas na ulit yung iba para makapagpahinga na rin muna kayo. Kung may question kayo, feel free lang na mag-send dun sa GC and try namin. Pero huwag kayong mag-send ng mga homeworks nyo ha. Meron din kasi kami. Yun lang. Thank you and bye-bye. Thank you ulit, Zach, and kay ma'am. And sa mga umatan natin. Thank you. Thank you po, ma'am. Bye-bye po.
Bye-bye. Thank you.